Sacred calendar. As spring approaches in the northern hemisphere, there is an influx of energy. This energy is what gives nature the ability to sprout new life. You can feel this energy when you quiet your mind and tune into the earth. I feel this year's energies are stronger than I've ever felt before. Over the years, as I've learned to allow these energies to flow through me, I've questioned why humans follow a calendar that is not at all connected to the cycles of these energies. We celebrate the new year in January. However, in January, I still feel the energy of rest and recovery, of hibernation. It is the spring that brings new life and awakens the sleeping. Can you feel it? As I've said before, when we ask for truth, we will receive it. I asked for the truth about my natural cycles because I felt left behind. The world comes back to life in January while I'm still sleeping. The world moves quickly and chaotically, where I move slowly, waiting for my signal from the earth to awaken. I ask, and the universe delivers. The following is paraphrased by Matthias de Stefano. I've briefly mentioned him in a couple of my videos. He has been a huge inspiration for me. I encourage anyone seeking truth to research his teachings and messages. For me, they have been life-changing. What he says about the origin of our universal calendar is eye-opening. What he teaches about the creations of sacred calendar rings the bells of truth in my heart. As the Northern Hemisphere's spring equinox approaches, awakening this part of the earth like never before, I feel it is an important time to learn about the truth of these calendars so that we can reclaim our power once again. What is time? Time allows us to see matter. How we organize time is how we manifest matter. Calendar comes from the Roman word calendas, marking the time to pay taxes in the Roman Empire. This period of time came around when the moon was about to be full. People began to link this period to knowing something was about to be taken from them. The Romans shaped the idea of our now calendar to organize their empire. Originally, cycles were to organize a moment in time to do something physical. Early humans followed the sun, moon, and fixed stars to navigate. They began to observe, document, and teach cycles to know when to physically move or when to physically do something. They noticed when they followed the moon cycles, they were able to organize time, and therefore organize life. They began paying attention to the tides of the ocean, snow melting in the mountains, to signal the best time to do something important for the tribe, like sowing seeds. They followed the sun, but the moon was the one telling them when and how to move towards it. For example, a full moon represents reproduction, a time to have sex, to procreate. So the people associated this time with going crazy, because the men fought over the most fertile woman, creating the idea we have now, that a full moon causes craziness and tension. In cycles, there's no beginning or end. Different parts of the planet have their own cycles of season, so every region had their own calendar, unlike today where we all share the same calendar that was designed by a man in Europe who wanted to pay taxes, making the entire world lose its connection with our own potential for creating. In the equinox, the way the sun hits the earth in the north and south poles is completely different, so they should not share the same cycles. The light is not suitable. For every latitude, every parallel, and every region, we should have a different calendar. The new year should be different all around the planet. New year began with our attempt to understand when the natural cycles end and begin. The true beginning of every new year is in either a solstice or an equinox. We have 4 main new years per year, which are related to the position of our planet, and the position of our planet is actually showing the position of our mind. Even if we have been disconnected from our natural cycles, we are magnetic beings. The magnetic structure of our cells tends to balance towards the northern magnetic pole. Our blood is red because it has iron in it. Iron, like a compass, follows and organizes itself according to the magnetic northern pole. Wherever the northern magnetic pole is pointing at, our blood, our mind, our heart will align there. Today, because we have no idea where our true north is, and we don't care. We are lost and disconnected from our life because we are not aligned with the North Pole, and we don't know where the position of our star is during the equinox. We've lost the power of creation. The position of the stars tells us what to do in every moment. We begin to organize the equinox in March, mainly because the people in the Middle East did it that way. It was important for them because based on the position of their stars, it was time to start sowing seeds. This means it was time to fertilize the soil, and at that time, it was done by using goat's blood. This is why the goat head symbolizes Aries. We are not changed or transformed by our perception of the position of the stars. Astrology is not the stars pulling our soul, it's how our soul perceives the stars. In Europe, they held a celebration for the return of the sun on the solstice of December. They celebrated for 12 days from when the amount of daylight is the least, and after the solstice, the days get longer, which is the real reason we celebrate the returning of the sun, known as the birth of Christ. We have clues everywhere encoded in our language about this truth. Deca means 10. The oct in October means 8. Novem means 9. All of this was done to take away our ability to create, to harness the power for themselves. Julius Caesar and Augustus Caesar created July and August because of their overlarge egos. They decided their month should have 31 days instead of 30, to be bigger than the rest. The reason we celebrate the new year on January 1st is because of the Romans' 12 days of partying after the sun returned, beginning on December 20th and ending on January 1st. January represented the time to stop partying and to get back to work. January's name comes from the god Janus, the god of time. It has two faces, one looking backwards and one looking forwards. Romans used this as a symbol to tell the people to get back to work. We are literally celebrating a new year all around the world based on the end of a Roman orgy. It has nothing to do with cycles. When we all begin to lose this connection with our regional cycles, we begin to mix cultures and traditions. This is when the confusion began. We mix the Vikings and pagan traditions, etc., with the Romans' traditions. And the reason for this comes from celebration. They use rituals to awaken the potential of each one of the gods or the stars, creating Monday or Moon's Day, Tuesday, Mars Day, Wednesday, Odin's Day, Thursday, Thor Day, Friday, Freya's Day, Saturday, Saturn's Day, Sunday, Sun's Day. The word hour comes from the Egyptian word Horus, the sun god, telling us where Horus is located at certain times in the day. Time is organized in a concept that is divine, to tell us what to do at each moment, based on the appropriate present energy. This is why the ancient ones lived through rituals. They created patterns, cycles, trinities, and put intention in every day to download that information into their human vessel. The moon physically moves our blood, moves the cycles of life in mainly the feminine body. It controls the gravity of our planet, pulling the waters of the ocean in one direction or the other. It moves us completely. If we don't set our heart, mind, intention, and act according to what is happening with the moon at a pivotal moment, we are losing the potential that that power has on us. Instead of using the power, we are used by the power, making us like slaves to gravity instead of using gravity. We lost the power when they said God was invisible. If you cannot see it, you cannot use it. They said don't follow the moon or the stars because that's pagan, creating a disconnection to our reality. This loss of knowledge to which hour it actually is, where the sun sets and rises, took away our ability to manifest, to create. There is no specific way to use a calendar. We must find our own way and use it according to which latitude and longitude we are located on the planet. This is how and why tribes were created, for the purpose of creation. A gathering or a ceremony is a celebration of that one day that brought us all together, to create more magnetism, to create more power. This word ceremony comes from the word sedes, which means cereal. Ceremony means to share cereals. Because we were harvesting or sowing, we got together and shared food. We danced because we were sharing, and prayed because we wanted more cereals. Those who lusted power knew that whoever controlled the cereals controlled the ceremonies, taking the power of the people and giving it entirely to the few who administered the power, telling the people when and how to have their ceremonies. Science means to cut something that is together up into pieces. Before science, we had alchemy. Alchemy comes from alchemia, an Arab word to describe the unity of things. We understood then that we were pulling together the forces that have been created by the very origin of the universe, and when we do that, we transform them into something new for our integration of that universe. Today, with just science, we cut up the pieces of the universe and separate the combination of those universal forces. The alchemy is missing. The discovery of what the purpose of this combination is, or these pieces. What is the intention of this within me? What does this mean for me when I take that which is outside of me and put it within me? This is the meaning of spirituality. Science wants to cut spirituality up into pieces and separate them, without giving thought to the pattern or the ceremony. Long ago, in the dances of these ceremonies, the men and women would dance around each other and spin, symbolizing the stars and the planets. The planet spinning on its axis, like the moon spinning around the earth around the sun. Every movement and every step marked a time. Through food, cereals, and celebration, ceremonies, we activated a way in which we became those things. When people started to move away from spirituality and towards science, we lost the connection to the meaning of the whole. We just have the pieces now. That meaning is the intention or purpose. What science is explaining is real, yes, but reality is not just the third dimension. There are many options in that reality that create the purpose of the whole. Spirituality creates alchemy from science. We can get our power back by relating our calendar back to our food. It gives us the power of creation and transformation to create our own medicine rather than looking for the medicine from others. Eat your own medicine. Your saliva on the seed programs your medicine for the future. Drink your own tears. They are specifically designed to drop into your mouth when you cry. In that moment you are crying about something, the components and patterns of the water change according to what you need in that moment. Plants grow because of the light of the sun, because of the cycle of the moon. Every plant holds different information according to the position of how the light enters the planet. Every seed holds the potential related to the light that came from the skies. They wouldn't be able to grow without the light from the stars. When you eat that plant, you are eating the sun. You are eating the power and light of the sun materialized into something here on earth. The best way to receive God is to put the essence of God within you. As we awaken more and more to our true history and begin to understand why we humans are so confused and have no true direction, we come upon a crossroads. We can take one of two paths here. Either we get angry and hate those who have stolen our power and share that hatred by spreading it all over the internet, once again, giving away our power and solving nothing. Or we can view our past through a positive lens by first acknowledging our past. Yes, we lost our connection with our regional cycles because we mixed traditions and cultures. This is what created the confusion we have now. But without this period of mixing cultures and traditions, we could not create oneness. This is the beauty of evolution. We can learn from our past mistakes. By understanding and accepting this truth, rather than creating division and separateness with our confusion, we can take our power back now. We don't need the world to change the holidays on the calendar to begin the ceremonies that align with the cycles of where we live. We don't need to copy other cultures' rituals to create what we want in our own lives. We can make new ones that resonate with us now, with our modern lifestyles, our own families and friends. That's how we grow. That's how we change the world. Finding our own tribes that share in the things that makes us happy and joyful. By finding common ground and a place to meet each other in, a place to celebrate, dance, and share food. With this knowledge, in small groups we can change our individual worlds, and one by one, the rest of the world will follow. Peace and love.